There is a rising sun on the dusty plains of Uttar Pradesh, India. It is not a celestial body, but a force swathed in pink saris. Their purpose? To challenge injustice, to confront domestic violence, to change lives. They are the Gulabi Gang. For centuries the world told them who they were meant to be sold, to be broken, to be forgotten. Their pain was not a crime, and their cries, nothing more than echoes in an empty void. Here, the law bends to the will of the powerful. Justice isn't just blind, it's missing. Men ruled with iron fists and women obeyed in silence as they were forced into the shadows of child marriage, domestic abuse, and police corruption. Anyone who dares to speak up just disappeared, until Sampat Pal, a victim of the system herself, born into a poor family of shepherds, worked in the farm as a child, denied formal education. Her fate, like many of her sex, have been written before she was even born. Married off at 12 and forced into obedience. Bearing 5 children at 15. Taught that suffering was a woman's destiny, and punished for daring to exist beyond her assigned roles. She didn't just saw it. She experienced the beatings, the forced marriage, the unchecked violence, but she refused to look away. One morning, she saw it again. A man beating his wife almost to the point of death, knowing that justice won't come to her unless she does something. Because the police, they always just shrugged. The village elders just laughed it off, and her fellow women amongst the onlookers were too scared to intervene. She walked into the center of the scene to confront the man. But words were not enough. She got a large share of the beating herself for intervening on domestic issues. They termed none of her business, but at least she was able to put a stop to the beating and saved a fellow woman for the price of some bruises. The next day she picked up a lathi, a bamboo stick, to the abusive husband to enact justice. Knowing what transpired the previous day, and seeing the determination in Sampat's looks and in her every steps as she marched towards her destination, a fair amount of onlookers was attracted to the scene, who witnessed her as she walked into the man's house, dragged him outside and beat him with her stick in front of everyone present. The message was clear. If the law won't protect us, we will be our law. Words spread pretty fast. Many women who have been on the receiving end of domestic violence for too long came to Sampat Pal to help them deliver justice. Other women who wants to be part of the new justice delivery system joined her, and so what started as a single act of defiance became a movement. The Gulabi Gang, the Pink Warriors, was born. It started when 5 other women joined in with Sampat on her earliest justice missions, then dozens, then hundreds. They were farmers, mothers, widows, outcasts. Together they became unstoppable. They took the fight to the streets and every corners that have been abandoned by the law. The Gulabi Gang. Gulabi, meaning pink, a color which for long have been associated with women, a color used to signify weakness, the oppressed, and forced submission was transformed to the color of rebellion, of defiance, of war. They marched into police stations demanding justice for women. When officials refused, they dragged them into the streets and made them answer to the people. They were unlike anything rural India had seen before. They are a group of women armed with nothing but their courage and their sticks, standing against the very foundation of a system built to suppress them. One of their most famous encounters was with a corrupt official who had been hoarding government-rationed grains meant for the poor. The Gulabi Gang broke into the storage facility, seized the stolen food and distributed it to starving villagers. But defiance comes with a price, as you don't challenge power without consequences. The Gulabi Gang had not only made enemies out of abusive men but also from those in high places: the police, the politicians, the landlords. The threats they were promised was numerous. Attempts to crush them was vast. The crackdown on their members was intense. Many were arrested. They were hunted and beaten by the government and thugs on the streets and in their homes. But they never stopped, because they knew one truth: justice belongs to those who dares to seize it. Even Sampat herself was not spared. She was arrested multiple times, accused of inciting violence, but every time she was locked away, more women joined the movement. The Gulabi Gang had become a wildfire that could not be contained. Today, the Gulabi Gang is more than a name. It is a fire that still burns, a storm that cannot be stopped, a legend that will never fade. Because justice does not belong to the powerful. It belongs to those bold enough to seize it.